Hola chamos, welcome back to another episode of Alvaro Dev Labs. It has been a long time that I didn't post any new videos. I will tell you why. Recently I changed my job. I moved to Porch Digital here in Barcelona. Basically, we are doing a digital transformation for Porch, and we're building an office from scratch here. As I say, in Barcelona. So if anyone is interested to join, just ping me at the comments or send me a DM. We can arrange something. We're looking for professionals that want to take over digital products for Porch here. Being said that, today we're gonna check a really cool thing. It's about main navigation and how to make it accessible through the keyboard. So using Vue Use, that is an awesome library by Anfu that I really love. I use practically in all my side projects. Why the reason of this video? Because the main navigation is something that happens in the career of a front-end developer that once in your lifetime you have to implement a main navigation, right? Main navigation, I think, is one of the components that has more complexity, especially when you have items and sub-items and then you have to transform into a mobile drawer with the navigation you have to control with the tabs and so on. So it's basically a component that builds character. Recently I implemented a new one with Vue Use, as I say, via the composition API, and I found it really easy. I also posted on Twitter and it became pretty viral because people were interested in how I did it, so that's the reason of the video. So enough talk, let's get our hands dirty here. I created a project using my template for Vite called Vitsum. You can check it on GitHub. Basically, it's a really opinionated template for Vite and Vue with the things that I use the most within my projects, so I can create it real fast. And I implemented a little main navigation in order to exemplify what we need to do, right? So at the moment it's really simple. We have like 4 items. One of them has a sub item, so you create a sub menu, and you can go towards it with a normal mouse, okay, and also with tab, okay, with keyboard. Whenever you enter here, you will go here and it goes to the next one, but as you can see, for example, it doesn't hide the sub menu when I tap out of it, when I blur. And also it's really complex when it comes to mobile navigation, especially with keyboards and so on. So let's say we are in mobile and we want to enter here. So it should focus first the close button, for example, which is not doing. Also the tab is in another place, it's not right on the menu. So I had to jump back to get it. Now I have it, for example, and if I enter here, it goes here. But for example, if I continue, the tab ordering is not correct. It should came here first and then to the other elements, and also it should trap between the menu so it doesn't go to another place. At the moment, I guess it's in another part of the menu. It should stay here with a focus trap. So that's basically what we are going to implement today, and I'm going to teach you how to use it with Vue Use, which I found really easy. Jumping into the code, as I said before, I created this using a template called Vitsum. That is just basically a GitHub template that I did for my projects with Vite and Vue. It has several features by default. You can check it and use it in the link below in the description, and I also will post the repository link for this example so you can check it out later in the tutorial. So basically this consists of 2 components, the main navigation and the main navigation link. If we go to the browser and we check them here in the Vue DevTools, you can see that the main navigation holds the complete toolbar, and then we have the navigation items here. If we open here, this drop down is part of the main navigation link. Checking a little bit the code, and the main navigation we have a ref with all the items and the URLs for the router, and in this case, for example, the sub items. For styling, I'm using Windows CSS, that is like a version of Tailwind with several more features. So I found it really interesting to use and try it out. I'm not going to go super deep on how I did the main navigation. I'm just going to focus on how to apply a proper accessibility to it. That means that the users can go through it with the keyboard, and we enable correct features like opening and closing the drop downs when it's needed, autofocus it, and using focus trap to maintain the tab focusing on the menu and go over again. And it's really easy to do with view use. So the first thing that we are going to do is, in this case, we're tabbing through, we open here, we go tabbing, and when we tap to about, we should close the drop down. To do that, we go to the main navigation link, and here we look for the drop down, that is this one, and where the main navigation links are implemented. So here we have the index. We could check when is the last one, and if it's the last one, we pass, let's say, is last, and we say when index is equal to items length -1. So if we do that, here we need to put another prop that is called isLast, which is a boolean, and the default is false. Okay, and if it's the last one, here, so whenever we tab, okay, so whenever we do keyboard, key down, yeah, tab, on tab, okay, and here we say on tab, we pass the event, and here we should check if it's the last one. So if props is last, so we should drop down value to the drop down. But wait, it will not work because that toggle dropdown will work on the same level. So basically here, if I'm passing here is last, then I had to pass an event up, which is called close dropdown. Exactly. So here we say toggle dropdown, and we set it to false, so we make sure that is closing it. So this actually goes into, we're using the same component. So here what we can do is checking if prop is last, we toggle the drop down no, we do animation of close drop down, and we return this function into the template. So basically what it will do is whenever, why is in the same place, because I'm reusing main navigation link, like iterating it down. So I'm using the same component between the same component. We can also make it easy and create a sub navigation link, but it's not really scalable. So let's see if it actually works. Let's go here. So we press tab, we open this one, we go here, and voila, it closed the sub menu. So if we open it again and we go here and with that, perfect, it closes. So that's the first thing that we needed to do. The next one is on mobile, okay, and we open here, this close button should be automatically focused, okay. To autofocus an element in Vue 3, we can use template ref. So we reference this DOM element into the template, and then whenever it's already mounted, we focus on it. So to do that, where should be the best place? This is in the main navigation, so let's search for the button. This is the button for closing. Okay, so here let's put it at a template ref. So ref, it will be nav close button. Okay, so the way of using template ref in Vue is that here, whenever you are creating the other reference, you can create one with that name and set it as a reference to null. Okay, and then you pass this to your template. Okay, let's save. Okay, so we should watch whenever we are open this navigation, whenever the drop down, the mobile drawer is open, right? So just below here, I'm going to use watch that we import from, say here, watch, this operator from Vue. So we use watch and we put whenever the mobile drawer is open. So we pass this and we say it's open. And here, because of how Vue 3 works, it will take a little bit of time to actually fill this value with the DOM element. So it's wise enough to make this asynchronous and just wait for the next tick to happen. So here we can use next tick. We import it from, not from process though, but from Vue. Okay, so it will be like a set timeout, but a proper one with Vue. Next thing that we want to do is we're gonna check if it's open, and important thing is mobile. If you wonder where I'm getting is mobile, it's a composition function that tells me between the breakpoints that I have on configured on the project if I'm in a mobile or I'm in a laptop, depending on the media queries. So here, if it's open and it's mobile, then we can access it and say, hey, give me the DOM value of this and just focus. So object is possibly null. Okay, that will help. On type, never. Oh, come on, TypeScript, don't do this. Well, let's ignore this. You will need to properly type this in order to avoid those TypeScript errors. But if you come here, probably it will be interesting to put a breakpoint there. So let's open main navigation view. So I guess it's this one. Doesn't seem to have created it though. Sometimes the source map are confusing. This one. Okay. Here. So we can set a breakpoint. It's going a little bit crazy though. Let's refresh. Okay. So here, please prove that break. Okay. So we open it, we come here, and this snap close button should have already a value. So put here snap close button. Okay, here it's getting the down value, as you can see here. So we can autofocus it. See, without the breakpoints. So we open here and it's autofocus. So nice, we have that done. Also then if we tap, it's not going here. We need to investigate why it's not going next to the navigation links. So after some minutes investigating why, it was because here I put the button and the DOM, like in the code, just below the navigation links. So even if the position absolute was put in here, it was in the incorrect position. So before it was around here, and I just basically move it up before the main navigation links. So now it's in the proper position, and if we open and it's autofocus and we do this, it will go in the correct order. So next thing to do will be to actually create a focus trap here. So for that is where we are going to use view use. Not really. Let's go to the library, and there is we check all functions. Below here, there is some integration. So here, Axios, use cookies, and there is this one, use focus trap. So how it will basically work is that here, for example, I'm focused on this component, and then I go to the email, the nickname, the password, and I continue, and I focus other elements in the page. But if I want to trap the focus in the form, now you can see that over and over again, no matter how many times I press tab, it continues in the same links. If I press shift tab, it goes the other way around, but it always focuses on this part of the form. So we want to achieve something similar here, that whenever we are focusing these elements and we tap again, it goes again into the X or the home button. So in order to do that, you will need to install this in view integration. So npm install view use integration, sorry. You can see that I already installed it here in the package.json. Well, also it doesn't show it in the package.json, but it does show it inside of view use core. That's odd. Let me try again to see if I didn't save it on the package.json. So I create a new terminal here. And we do yarn add view use integrations, and we mark it with a D. Okay, it was because I didn't save it in the package.json. So this is the actual package that contains the focus trap. So in order to use it, let's go to the documentation and check what we need. So here we need the target reference. So this is the template ref for the element that we want to trap the focus on. And we pass it to this composition function of use focus trap. We pass the target, and then we have, if we have the focus, if it's active, a function to activate it and disactivate it, because of course we would like to activate it or not, depending if we are mobile, for example, or if we open or close the drawer. We don't want, if we close this, we don't want the focus trap to continue here, because it will not allow us to continue to the rest of elements. So we need to deactivate it whenever we are closing that. Let's just copy. I don't know why my computer is going so slow today. It's maybe the heat, but it's crazy slow. Okay, let's try again. So we want to use this on the main navigation link. No, sorry. We are on the main navigation first. So for this drawer, that is the main navigation menu, we probably want to create a ref here and say, hey, for this is navigation nav wrapper or nav menu. Okay, nav menu, it's a better name. We need to do something similar as we did here. Okay, and here let's use this, import use focus trap. Okay, so we want to use activate and deactivate equal use focus trap, and we pass the target. In this case, the target is nav menu. And we also want to return this into the template so we can get the DOM element. And so whenever we open the drawer, let's activate it. And in case we are not in mobile and also it isn't open, then we are going to deactivate. So the idea is we get the template ref for the nav menu. Deactivate doesn't exist. Did I deactivate? Okay, my bad, sorry. It's deactivate. Okay, so let's go here and let's check if it actually works. So as you can see here, now that I'm tabbing through all over again, the focus trap is maintaining the keyboard navigation between these drawers. So it goes all over again, like in the example that I showed you, between the items that are here. And once we go to another one, we can continue. For example, in the sub-menu items, we can continue with it. We will need, now that we have this one, we need to implement the same behavior on the submenu. So in the submenu, we have this back button that should be the first one to be focused, and also we have to implement a focus trap, because it's, if you can see, whenever I go to the last one, it closes it down and it goes again for about. I mean, it depends on how you want to do the navigation. Maybe it's that was supposed to be happening. But in this case, I want to implement that whenever I'm in the submenu, there is a focus trap here. Okay? So to implement it here, we go to the code, and what I'm going to do is put this in a separate, like this. And we want first to make sure that whenever we go to the last element and it taps to toggle the dropdown to false, we are going to come here and create a new function, which is this one, on close dropdown. And what we are going to do is that whenever is not immobile, then it can toggle it. So immobile it will not toggle when this tapping the last element. So we go here, and instead of toggle the drop down, we put on close drop down. So let's get back to here and let's check. So here we go, come here. Okay, it doesn't close, so good. Now what we need to do is that the focus trap remains here, and also that autofocus this element here. So we basically can copy and paste what we did in the main navigation one. So we come here and use focus trap. Then we need to create here for the back button we need a template ref. So nav back button is equal to a ref null, and we also need another const for the nav dropdown, which is also a ref null. Before we forget, let's copy and paste here to return it to the template that is available there. And we will need to assign this template ref here. So we look for the button that goes back, which is this one. So here I'm gonna put ref and just snap back. And for the other one is that drop down. So to put the trap focus, we need to find it, which is, this is the drop down. So here we put ref and nav drop down. Okay, so we're going to use the same one here. Let's put it just below, yeah, here. And instead of passing the nav menu, what we are going to pass is the nav drop down, where we want the focus trap to be in. Then we want to watch for the drop down to be open in order to activate or deactivate our focus trap. So here, watch. Is drop down open? Yeah, we probably need to import the next stick and the watch operator here. That's fine, and then it's not nav close anymore. The button is this one here. So this should have the same behavior that we achieved in the first level of the menu, but now in the second one. So if, let's just close it and refresh. Okay, so we're here. We enter, it's focusing on the close, that's fine. We enter here, it's auto-focusing the back button. And then when we are tapped through it, it remains in the same drop-down or tabbing through. So if we go back, it will have focus trap here. Let's go inside, and it's working just as expected. So you can see how powerful a focus trap is using the composition API, that you can activate it and deactivate it whenever you want. Like here, and you can pass whatever wrapper you want for the focus to be trapped on. So this really kudos to the maintainers and the creators of this integration for focus trap on VUUs. Like, it's really helpful for achieving a good accessibility on main navigation. And that's how you can improve your main navigation accessibility features with VUUs and the composition API, especially with the integration of focus traps. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you do, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. It means a lot. Also, put in the comments what other topics do you want to see on the channel. More Vue, more GraphQL, Vite, you name it. See ya!